Welcome back, everyone, to another beautiful episode of the Posttopostpod. With me, as always, is my co-host, Chris Ronan. Buddy, how's your week been?
Not bad, man. Just getting ready for this this big snowstorm we're getting, man.
Big snowstorm.
It's not fun. At the beginning of the week, they said 12 to 18, and I did think that it was going to dial back. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And now they bumped it up. We're now getting 24.
Yeah, we got fans from all over the place, and trust me, you do not want to be in the Northeast right now. We are going to get slammed.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
You said it's going to start snowing around midnight?
Yeah,
That's an hour from now.
Yeah.
So I got to somehow make it home safely after this.
You'll be all right.
I'll be good.
It'll just be like flurries by the time you're going, you know?
Yeah, I'll be good to go. We're good. But we got some hockey news. I wouldn't say some. We got a lot of hockey news, especially this week. You want to help dive into it?
Yeah, so we do have a couple small signings this week. Pittsburgh signed Jeff Carter to a 2-year, $6.25 million deal, $3.12 million AAV. Definitely good to see him revamping his career in Pittsburgh. I believe he was with the Kings the year before. I'm not 100%.
No, 100%. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I think that he is a good veteran presence for a team that looks like they might be making a deep cup run this year.
Jeff Carter was solid in Penguins. He was with them for the Stanley Cup back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Great player. I think when you look at his stats, though, I think as a Penguins fan, you see him as like a great player, but it's one of those where like you're like, oh, cool, he was signed. And then you look at his stats, it's like, wait, what? Like, it's one of those where just like, I guess if you know the player and know he's good, but the stats don't like match up.
I think it's like he was really good at one point, and now he's just an awesome veteran presence that you can move up and down the lineup. Like where Crosby and Malkin were out, maybe you bump him up a line or two.
Yeah.
And now that fills a gap that, you needed filled at the time.
Right.
Another small sign, too. Ottawa signed Nick Holden to a 1-year, $1.3 million AAV. I don't really have much on him.
Nope.
But we're gonna do a lot of Ottawa later.
Oh yeah.
And then the big signing, Matt's gonna cover here.
Oh yeah. So the big signing that happened this week, which was yesterday. Actually, that happened yesterday, right? Thursday.
I believe so.
Evander Kane signed with the Edmonton Oilers to a 1-year, $2.1 million contract. The contract is prorated to $750,000 salary and a $625,000 signing bonus due to the signing being mid-season. Before the signing, his investigation was concluded that there was insufficient evidence to conclusively find that he knowingly made misrepresentations regarding his COVID-19 status or test results in connection with his international travel. I'm assuming with the signing right after the Oilers were waiting on the result for the investigation, and now we sit back and watch Evander Kane give us some great content for the next few weeks.
So let's really think about this, though, because I don't think Evander Kane has given us any content at this point. All of the accusations that his wife has made about him have been false. The gambling, like throwing games and betting on his own games, has been false. Mm-hmm. Now the league has found no conclusive evidence about the COVID-19 issues. Yep. So at the end of the day, it's really just he's in a shit ton of debt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
that's it. Yeah.
has happened with Evander Kane. Everything else has just been basically made up.
Yep.
So when you look at it like that, he actually did come out and say, like, to the Edmonton Oilers fans, like, let's approach this with an open mind and just give me another chance here. Like, I think it can bring a lot to the team, a lot to the locker room, and let's just, give it a shot and don't fucking boo me the first time I'm out there,
Right, exactly.
So, but I mean, in all honesty, that's kind of nuts to think about that. All this stuff that we've talked about Evander Kane, and none of it's true. Meant anything,
It's nuts. Yeah. It just puts everything in like a new perspective too. It's just like, it's like, I feel like a bunch of people like side with one thing, like, you're guilty of something, so that means like, oh, like you actually did it, but like. And then we talked about it, too. And now the investigation comes out, like, they went through it, like, yeah, no, that's not true. Yeah. We're just sitting here just looking dumb,
What's cool to me, though, is that they actually covered the other side of it. Like, he's been accused of all these things, and the media is still covering and saying, like, oh, no, none of that was true. Right. Normally, like, you see, like, a Taco Bell scenario where they're like, oh, that's not real meat. That was the accusation made against Taco Bell. They went to court, they fought it, they won that it is real meat, but no one ever knows about that because more clicks are made when you say that they're feeding you not meat.
You and our friend group, man, with Taco Bell.
Oh, dude, it's so good. So good. Like, guilty pleasure number one, dude. I could eat Taco Bell 7 days a week if it didn't put me in a grave next week.
I never had Taco Bell.
Oh, it's so good.
But we did talk about that fucking once-a-day thing that they're doing with Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that's going to go. I doubt anyone got it.
I don't know.
But we're going to talk hockey, not fucking Taco Bell.
Not Taco Bell?
Not Taco
This
Bell.
isn't the Taco Bell
This
podcast?
isn't a Taco Bell podcast. I
Eventually,
refuse to
maybe.
talk about it.
That'd be a sick
Hold on.
sponsorship.
Actually, let me go back. Let me actually go back to Taco Bell because I want to bring up something that I saw today and sent you, but I don't think you responded to. I know Baja Blast is a big fucking Taco Bell thing, and Mountain Dew this year is going to do hard Mountain Dew Baja Blast alcohol. Should we do that on the podcast?
Yeah, of
And
course.
just
Yeah.
fucking
So
throw up all over the place.
So it's actually going to be Boston Beer Company is launching it. Hard Mountain Dew. It's
Ooh.
supposed to be released this year. I haven't heard anything else on launch dates or anything. I think they'll probably do a couple test markets and then go to market like entirely across the country. It's obviously going to be like a fucking soda. I think the picture that you sent is actually zero sugar seltzer, but the main line is like Code Red and the regular Mountain Dew and Baja Blast, those flavors, and they're just sugar bombs. But
Oh,
the
yeah,
seltzers will probably be pretty good. I don't know. That's what I think.
What's
Thought it
it
was
called?
interesting.
Boston Beer Company?
Yeah, that's the owners of Sam Adams, Truly, Angry Orchard, Twisted Tea.
We should tag them, get some sponsorships.
Yeah,
going.
absolutely.
I
That's
like
a good
that.
call.
I like
Yeah.
that move.
Yeah.
Solid for this podcast.
That's not a conflict of interest for me or anything. That's
None,
fine.
not at all.
All right. Back to hockey here. Dallas tonight actually had defenseman Sergey Zubov's number retired with the Stars. He played 1,068 games, scoring 152 goals and 619 assists. He's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he played for the Stars from 96 to 09. So
Zubov, big player back in the day, but this came so, I wouldn't say random. What's the word I'm looking for? It just swept under the rug this week. And then it happened today, and I think the Dallas Stars posted it like, holy shit, Chris, like, his number's getting retired today. We had so much news going on this week that this really got swept under the rug. But congratulations to Zubov. Zubov, great player for the Dallas Stars. He was with Mike Madonna, right? That whole little series. And then, was it the early 2000s where they won the Stanley Cup?
Yep.
Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah. So solid for Zubov, man. Very well deserving. That's really all I got, to be honest.
Nice. There you go.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the episode. The first thing that I want to say this week is that the Flyers stink, man, and I am just a mush when it comes to picking teams. This is terrible, man. They've had 2 separate 10-game losing streaks in 2 months, and the second one is now a 13-game skid. They have had, 2 10-game losing streaks in 40 games.
Yep, you're right.
They've also added John Torchetti as an assistant coach. They have decided to keep Mike Yeo as the head coach for now.
Yep.
And the big news that was like uplifting and, maybe they can rally is Keith Yandle taking the Ironman streak. He's beating Doug Jarvis. He now has had 964 games to tie. And on his 965th, they made him a special pair of gloves.
Cheers to
Cheers,
our
buddy.
boy Keith Yandle, bud. We
Sure.
were worried about him a few episodes ago. Remember we were talking about this?
Yeah. So it's good to see him get it done. Kessel's right on his ass, and Marlowe's right on his ass, too. So
I'm so shocked Kessel is still going. Well, I wouldn't say shocked that Kessel's still going. What I'm trying to say is I'm shocked Kessel's on the Ironman streak. He's another one that's kind of just like was flying under radar because we started looking up Keith Yandle and his Ironman streak, and then we're looking at the listing for it, and like Phil Kessel was on the list. I'm like, wait, where the fuck did he come
he's only
from?
like 20 games behind him, too.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
It's nuts to think about. No one's talking about it either. I'm sure we'll be talking about it soon enough with him getting close, but the fact that Keith Yandle's still going, man, props to him.
Yeah, one thing I did hear from the Flyers locker room was that like they're not worried, which is the weirdest thing to me in the world. Yeah. They're saying that like we have faith in Carter Hart and like the locker room like jives really well. They're like, yeah, I mean we could contend for something eventually. You know what I mean? Like this is a good group, but like, dude, if you're dropping 23 games like in the course of 2 months, that's not going to be contending for much other than relegation down to the AHL. Nuts.
They've really fallen apart. It's not looking good for the Flyers right now.
But they're like, it's so weird. You see that, but they're not the panic team in the league. Like everyone is so worried about the Edmonton Oilers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and no one's really worried about the Flyers.
Yeah, I think they just understand that like the Flyers are the Coyotes, the Canadians, the Buffalo Sabres. You know
exactly.
But I didn't really like expect that going into this season. I do understand that picking up the worst goalie in the league in the offseason is not going to help.
Not going to fucking help at all.
Case in point, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
We're seeing that right now,
But looking at the other side of the coin, we have the Colorado Avalanche on a win streak here. 8 games straight right now. Matt has some notes on them. They're 9-0-1 in their last 10.
So at the time I put the notes down on the Colorado Avalanche, they were in first place in the league. Like, they jumped Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers and became first. They're actually now second in the league. Florida's back in first. But the Avs are currently 19-4-1 against teams from the Western Conference. They have won 8 straight and have earned a point in 14 straight, and also in 21 of 22 games with a 19-1-2 record since December 1st. Their top 5 goal scorers are Rantanen with 22, Makar with 17, Kadri with 16, Landeskog with 16, and Burakovsky with 14. And we're going to add to that, too, because Rantanen is actually third in assists with 27. Makar is fifth in assists with 24. Kadri leads the team in assists with 39. Landeskog is fourth in assists with 25, and Burakovsky kind of falls by a bit with seventh in assists with 19.
So I'm going to jump in real quick. Rantanen and Burakovsky are just like that. That is their depth scoring, and it's just someone that 2 names that you don't think of in the league. You think Avalanche, and like they really only cover the big names, the MacKinnons, the Cale Makars, but
right.
Seeing both of those guys, like I don't know, that is the depth, but at the same time, that's like they shouldn't be deeper than second line on any other team. You know what I mean?
And to add to that, even these 5 players right here, Rantanen has 9 power play goals, which is first for the team, and Kadri with 6 power play goals, which is second on the team. So they have 2 guys getting it done on the power play. They have 5 guys just getting it done with assists and with goals. Like a solid 5 line. Can you imagine that their power play, man?
Oh my God.
5 scary dudes that are going to score.
Last year, the biggest talk was, what is the top line in hockey? Was it the perfection line in Boston, or I think they also called it the perfection line in Colorado as well. Mm-hmm. So that was the big talk of the league. Like, what is the top line?
Right.
So.
Now, a name I didn't say on this list is Nathan MacKinnon. He is kind of slowing down since 2018-2019 season. His goals per season has declined. In 2018, he had 41 goals. 2019, he had 35. Last year, he had 20, and now, so far this season, he has 9 goals.
So looking at that, I'm going to jump in again, sorry.
Yep.
He trains with Sidney Crosby, and I think he's trying to model his game around him. And you'll notice that Sidney Crosby isn't at the top of the numbers with the Pittsburgh organization either. Like, there's other guys that are up there because of the space, time, everything that MacKinnon and Crosby open up for them. Like, That's what's making Colorado so good, is that MacKinnon doesn't care about the individual points.
Right.
It's more about what can I
do to help
on
the team.
ice.
And I think this is where this next piece of notes that I'm going to say is going to go with what you said.
Yeah, is it going to do with face-off percentage? Because that's what
it's going to do with the assists. So he's still doing well, making plays and getting assists with 34 so far this season, which is second best for the team. So he's mainly become like a playmaker or a find a guy in the right spot type of guy. What Sidney Crosby is like an all-around guy. I think the same thing what you were saying. Like, I remember back in the day when he started, it was goals, and then throughout his career he kind of became a veteran, grew, like, got older and realized, being an all-around player is better, than just being a just being like an all-goal scorer.
There's different ways to model your game.
And I think that's where Nathan MacKinnon's coming in, and this is what we're seeing right now. For goalies, both Darcy Kemper and Pavel Francouz have been solid. Kemper with 29 games played with a 25-1 record with a 2.64 GAA and .913 save percentage. And Francouz with 7 games played, a 6-1-0 record with 2.03 GAA and a .932 save percentage. The win against Boston Wednesday was their 17th home game win streak, which set the record for longest in franchise history and 5th longest streak in NHL history. First is the Detroit Red Wings with 23 games. So these guys are just making leeway in this league right now and doing a hell of a job. It's funny how, like, I'm sure they were just on fire at one point, found themselves in a rut, which kept them in like a certain spot, and then found their game again, and it's just shot them right up in the standings in the league, and that's why they're second in the league right now. Colorado.
Looking at the West too, another team to compare them to would be like a Nashville Predators, kind of out of the blue, shot up the standings. They've cooled off a little bit, but it's really just Colorado and the Golden Knights, and there's a 10-point gap between those two teams right now. So
It's also the Western Conference, too. You look at the Western Conference, you look at the divisions, the Pacific, the Central, and you're just like, yeah.
The East is much stronger for sure.
The East is much stronger.
And that also goes to explain their 19-4-1 record against the Western Conference.
The Western Conference, yeah.
That's part of it.
Exactly.
And that's good for them. They can rack up points against, the teams they're directly going to compete with to get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Right. Exactly.
It's a good sign for Colorado. Right. Looking good.
And we got a Canucks new management, if you want to go on to that.
Yeah, you want to hit it or you want me to go?
I can do it, yeah. Emily Gaston-Guay was a former player agent, was hired as an assistant GM. She is the first female assistant GM in Canucks history and second female GM in NHL history. She became the first woman to represent number 1 overall pick in the NHL draft. That player was Alex Lafreniere, who went overall to the New York Rangers in 2020. In 2016, became the first woman ever to be certified as a player agent for the NHL's Player Association. Also, what's going on is Patrick Allvin was named GM. Allvin was assistant GM for the Penguins before moving to the Canucks. He started as a scout for the Montreal back in 2002, then a scout for the Penguins in 2006, and then he became the assistant GM for the Penguins last season before moving on to the Canucks. Solid move. I feel like I'm be going week by week by week with awesome women in hockey news with this, and awesome. Oh, your phone went off. Sorry. So, congratulations to Emily Gaston-Guay for just breaking headway right here in the NHL, and I guess we'll see what Patrick Allvin has in store for the Canucks.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Like, it's kind of cool to see the progression of how to become a GM of a team. I never really understood it. I was kind of like, man, these guys kind of play in the league, and that's how they get there. Yeah. I'm sure Allvin was like either a great hockey mind or he did play in the league at some point. I didn't really look into that. Yeah. But it's cool to see that he started as a scout and then got a different scouting gig, found the open spot to be the assistant GM, and now he's worked his way up. Because if you think about it, the GM job is honestly just a large-scale scouting job. You need to be able to identify talent, be able to understand, picks, salary cap, things like that, understand how to get more bang for your buck at your organization.
I think that's what I've been noticing, too, as well, especially with doing this podcast, especially the past few weeks or the whole year of doing the podcast, where we've seen so many GMs step down, new GMs come in, new assistant GMs come in, and then you look them up, and almost the majority of them were scouts back in the day. Yeah. So I feel like scouts are definitely 100% like a guy to go to, that knows the situation.
And I think when it comes to the GM role, the turnover is huge because once things go south, they're done. But the other side of the coin is also that there's 1,000,005 scouts out there and there's 32 GM jobs. That's it. You know what I mean? 64 if you count the assistants. So that's nuts. It's a very highly competitive market.
Right. So good for him.
A little small note here too. We are recording Friday the 28th. The All-Star game will be this coming weekend. And this week, I just got to thinking when I saw this, I said, man, the All-Star game is going to be the craziest it's ever been when it comes to the skills challenge, the shootout, all that type of shit. Zegras just scored a fucking Michigan goal. Last month he scored the Michigan pass to Jesus Christ, Mason McTavish.
Mason McTavish, yep.
I think. No, I'm wrong there. I forget his name. Regardless, Mason McTavish isn't even in the league yet. But this All-Star game is just going to be so much bigger and better and brighter lights, Vegas, everything about it is going to be sick.
It's going to be
sick. I can't wait.
Vegas is a solid. I love the fact that they're in Vegas. I think they're going to do a hell of a job for the All-Star game. Yeah, you're right. You brought up the Zegras and the Michigan. Where especially this season, last season, we're seeing so many crazy new goals, different ways to score and stuff. And as a goalie, it pisses me off. But at the same time, you watch it and you're like, whoa, wow, that is definitely some custom-made stuff right there. That's awesome to see,
For sure. It was Sonny Milano. I'm a fucking asshole, dude. I'm an idiot.
Zegras pulling off that Michigan was so goddamn smooth, though. I remember we were watching that and, in replay in slow-mo, it's nice, but when you put it in,
full speed,
you're like, damn, dude, this dude had to be spot on and mentally be prepared for if I fuck up, it's gonna be bad.
I forget what team it was. I'm pretty sure I saw a fake Michigan. I forget what the guy did, but basically he went down like he was gonna do it, and then I think the defenseman came in to try and body him, and instead of bringing the puck up like that, he went further into the corner and passed it out front. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he faked he was coming to the front of the net, and the guy was expecting to body him, and then just took the puck to the corner and sent it out.
It's nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot more deception in the game than ever before.
Right.
Connor McDavid in the shootout the other night was nasty. All the stick handling that he does on the way in, and then just creates space,
Right.
just selling backhand and cutting to the forehand. You know,
It just really goes to show you how much the game is like still evolving to
Yeah.
this day.
100%.
And as a goalie too, like I don't know, you can't really, you don't know when the Michigan's coming, obviously, because you're in Gretzky's office. But like, there was talk about some goalie, a coach or something like that, talking about how to block a Michigan. But one, you have to be staring through the net to know it's even coming. But when it's coming, it's already fucking too late, you know? And he was talking about like getting the head in the corner, and I don't know, it's gonna change the goalie position as well too.
It is, and I think it's going to change. Most importantly, like we talk about all the time, the RVH and the VH in that position, because you're going to want to be standing up to defend something like that, and just have your shoulder up there rather than your head.
And even the RVH, I put up a post on our Instagram about the RVH and how many different ways you could do it. Like it's just really recently just become a thing, and nothing's really solidified like in stone like the right way to do it. Like. I don't know if you saw the post because I put it up, but like you can have glove down. I was specifically looking at glove side, so like glove down on top of your pad. So it's like more in like a blocking spot. So when like the puck hits your pad, you could just throw your glove down and glove it. There's one where like you have it's like dead arm with like your glove up. So like if it goes inside your glove, you could just glove it. And there's so many different ways you could do it. And to add the whole Michigan thing is gonna throw a whole. Kind of throw a wrench into things, you know?
Yeah, I think it'll honestly become you got to be stand up on the post almost if there's a player that you think is able to do that, like a Sebastian Aho, Trevor Zegras, you know, like any of these guys that can do something like that. Right. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to see.
Right. And I want you to get into this, bud. This next one is I don't know. We've been talking about it all week, kind of.
Yeah. So this is gonna bleed into the next subject that we're gonna touch on real quick, but Marchand. Last week we talked about his savagery on social media, and it's getting like so much better, and the league has got to come down with the hammer soon and just shut it down. But
just waiting on it.
We've talked about it a little bit with how other teams jab at each other anyways. So it's like, why does he have to shut it down? It's generating views and clicks and getting the league out there. Like this is hilarious, you know.
Yep.
So there was actually a jersey toss on the ice in Edmonton. Shocker. I think there were 3 in one game, and the fans. Marchand decides to go on social media and tweet out and say, after this, like replying to the tweet of jerseys tossed on the ice and say, quote, and fans will wonder why McDavid and Draisaitl won't sign back there again. Like, wild, dude.
Bro.
Savagery.
Bro.
So
Marchand's been absolutely...
He's on a tear.
He's on a fucking tear the past few weeks. He doesn't give a shit at all. But exactly what you said. Like, he's bringing in clicks. He's bringing in likes and stuff. And I don't know if the league, who's trying to bring in just more fans, is looking at this like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, people like this shit.
Yeah,
you know?
So the funny part of it is, like, he was going after Trocheck, and then he went after, like, the Hurricanes because, like, they play ball with, like, chirping each other and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's kind of going after, like, the like he's not fighting people his own size anymore. He's going down to like the bottom of the league and fighting Edmonton. Mm-hmm. And now we're hearing that Arizona has potential to play at Arizona State University. So the Coyotes are in advanced talks with ASU to use their 5,000 fan stadium for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
Marchand decides to chime in again. Quote, well, the only way they will get 5,000 fans at the games now is if they give away 4,500 for free, so that won't change much.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Just ruthless. Like, why you got to pick on Arizona? You know, like, I understand the Carolina thing, and I see, like, getting under Edmonton's skin, but, like...
Good God. Arizona did not deserve this. Yeah. After the few years that they've had, especially this year.
Yeah.
It's like kicking a dog when it's down.
Someone even decided to go to the team's Wikipedia page and change it to read, quote, the Arizona Coyotes are a semi-professional ice hockey team that needs to be moved to Quebec. Oh, man, Wiki's great when people go and change shit like that.
Dude, Arizona is, I feel like we definitely talked about them at least 10 times.
Yeah, we keep talking about the stadium.
But it just gets worse and worse.
Just a developing case.
To go back to Marchand,
keep up the good work.
Just keep up the great work because we're loving it. But also, for the league and him, I think if he wasn't such a great guy off the ice, I think it was Kevin Hayes that came out with Brad Marchand. There's a story about him who, after Jimmy died, he was, talking to him and stuff, and just he
was hanging out with his son Bo too.
Bo
right?
too, yep. He's just a great guy off the ice. Like
he does the funniest shit, dude. He was going down the tunnel between the first and second period, someone's phone is down there, like, recording all the players going down. Marchand grabs the phone and is recording. He's like, hey, it's Brad Marchand. We had a really good first period, and here's your phone back. I'll give it back to you after when I come out. It's so funny, dude.
It's crazy.
He took the thing.
It's like you wonder why you can hate him, but at the same time, like, there's so many Boston people here that fucking hate him, too, because he's that rat on the ice, you know?
For sure.
I don't know. I'm sure, again, the NHL is looking at this being like, I don't know, he's bringing in clicks. But I think he's going to do something because there's a few things.
There's going to be a line.
There's going to be a line because that whole Arizona thing, I think you sent to me, and I was like,
touchy
dude,
subject.
We're getting close to just like you being banned or something like that, you know?
Yeah, dude. For real. The league's going to tell him to shut up soon.
Right, exactly.
But sticking to the subject of dusting Arizona, Brian Boyle with a nasty between the legs goal the other night. You see that?
Fucking
for a guy like him to get that too, it's after him signing a PTO at the beginning of the season to even make the team,
to even
like
make a play like that,
and he's scoring a goal like that, like that's fucking wild.
That's
man.
Nuts. Goals like that are for players who
for the young bucks,
the young lads out there who are just like, no, this is my team. I don't have to prove myself, and I'm very comfortable at just attempting this. Whereas Brian Boyle is just like. PTO, like I'm trying to make a name for myself and stay on the team, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna try it."
But
anyway.
I think like the older guys are learning from the young guys because when you think about it, right? If he's a lefty and he has that left-hand shot, he's already committed to the backhand. Mm-hmm. To get back to left side, you can get poked through there, right?
Yep.
So now this is basically just like learning from the young guys, and instead of going back over there risking the poke check from the goalie, you go between the legs. It's too far away from him, and you've changed the entire angle of the shot with the puck. Like it looks flashy as shit. But there's, like, a method to the madness. There's a reason that it works. Like, there's just another angle that, in all seriousness, like, goalies aren't covering because, like, why would I cover that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
And now players can do it, so they have to learn to do it. But, like, there was one kid in 3-on-3 in the Hingham League. Do you remember him? He used to always pull that move out. He would go between the legs.
Yeah.
And you did have to play him differently, but, like, once you learned how to cover that, like, it's part of the game now. You know that this guy can do it. The same thing with the Michigan and other guys that can do the between the leg shot. Like, you know that they might pull it out and try it. So you play them differently than anyone else.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yep. It's it really taught you to like learn the player, you know. That 3-on-3 really taught you like how to learn the play. Like if I saw like a certain player come down, I know what he could do, so I have to play him differently compared to another player that I knew would just either hit me straight in the chest or try to go glove all the time, you know.
And
so
I like that, and I hate that at the same time. Like I like that aspect of the league because it's a small league. You still get off the ice and hang out, chill with everyone. Yeah. You only have to learn 3 other teams now, though. Is the thing that I didn't like. Yeah. Whereas in like a New England Senior or power play, there's so many different teams that you can't really learn. No. And they're changing all the time. Different ringers are coming into play. But then you think about, like, in the grand scheme of things, the NHL, think about all the moves that goalies have to kind of keep track of. Like, it's basically a scouting report on who's playing for the other team, what they can and can't do, and who's going to be a threat and who's not. Beer
League's also different, too, because you say you're on, like, a B-level team or C-level team, and it really is just a mix. Like, for some reason, this D-level player is mixed in with, like, this C-level or B-level or whatever the fuck. So, like, you're playing against these guys who, like, half the team could probably fucking wrist it by you, like, no problem. And then there's another half that just, like, has a hard time even, like, skating or, like, passing the puck. And you just, like, as a goalie, you're just like, how do I play this? Like, I either stay positioned in a way where just like everything's quick, or I got to position myself and really be calm on something that's like a shot coming at me is going to be slow, and it's just like a mix of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas for NHL players, like, you know, all the shots are going to be very accurate and very quick, you know?
And I understand that, and I have the same issue sometimes, but I've come to the point where if you play up and treat everyone like they're B, what's the worst thing that happens? You're in position, you're down for the save, and if it's a dribbler, like, it'll eventually fucking get to you and you cover it up, anyway, you know? Yeah. So that's how I've come to play that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And even if you, like, overstretch for a cross-crease pass or something, when the guy, like, is fumble fucking the puck in the corner, like, you're good, you know what I mean? Like, he's not getting that shot off, he's not going to beat you. So I just treat everyone like they can, do whatever they want to you, you know?
Yeah.
But we do have some New York Rangers notes to touch up. You want to hit that?
Oh, yeah. Only team with 4 players in the top 20 in scoring are Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, and Adam Fox. Kreider scoring, you put nothing.
Yeah, you had
there,
notes on that.
But yeah, he just scored his 31st goal today. And then you had Zibanejad's sicko tape job.
Yeah, did you see that thing? I think we talked about it last week, I'm pretty
It's
sure.
like he taped it like halfway down, like the whole
shaft of the stick.
Yeah.
And I think he just puts his glove like at the bottom of the tape. But
And it makes sense because I think he talked to me about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast before, where you showed me it and you're just like, I wonder what that's for. And then you brought up that maybe that's where he's supposed to be. And then right before the podcast, we're watching the Rangers versus, I don't know who they're playing. I can't remember.
The Wild?
The Wild? Yeah, the Wild. And he shot the puck and they showed the replay and we both watched his glove and I'm like, we realized
it's right at the bottom of the tape.
Right at the bottom.
Off
so
of
it's
it,
like,
though.
I mean, every player has their own thing, but I've never seen an NHL player, especially scorer, have that, you know, where they need to, for some reason, memorize where to be. You know, it's weird, but whatever works, right?
So the Kreider scoring notes, I thought you had them. He scored his 28th of the season, which tied his career high in a season. He was also tied for first with 30 goals. He scored his 31st tonight, so he now leads the league in goals, which is kind of nuts. Like the Rangers were not looking too good out of the gate too, and like they weren't a team that people were worried about. And now, man, they're third in their conference in their division right now. So.
And then Kreider's just like, all right, I guess I'll fucking start scoring.
Dude, everyone is though. Like we said, they're the only team with 4 players in the top 20 in scoring. Like that's nuts. That's a lot of production, and that goes to show the depth. Like,
right,
it's just wild to me.
It's nuts. Yep. Moving on from that, we have Quentin Byfield. He scores in shootout LA versus New York Rangers. Lafreniere goes after him and scores. Goes by LA bench with one finger up, saying I was picked first overall for a reason. Byfield also scored his first NHL goal in a 3-2 win versus the New York Islanders. We talked about him last week. Actually, he came in. LA picked him up. Brought him back in the league, and I told everyone to watch out for him. And there is a huge reason why. First NHL goal, and he had a sick shootout goal in that shootout too. And
that
really
was nasty.
solidified. I'm like, dude, watch out for Quentin Byfield. He's picked big second overall for a reason.
Second overall, yeah, for sure. So he goes down and scores that shootout goal, and like that's technically to win the game. And he's like going nuts celebrating. And I think Lafreniere kind of took offense to it. He's like, "Oh, fuck you." He goes down, scores a nasty goal, and he literally like, skates by the bench with the number one up. First overall, buddy. You're second.
Buddy.
Take a seat.
Yep.
But and the shootout kept going. I didn't end up catching who won, but that was awesome to see. His first goal was a nice one too against New York Islanders. So.
Oh yeah, nice little wrist shot. Like. I remember the announcers like, yeah, he's a big dude. And for some reason, when you look at Quentin Byfield, you're like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, doesn't seem that big. But they put him at an angle where you're just like, you could see how big this dude is. And you're like, oh my God. And like that wrist shot just flung by Semyon Varlamov. Just like an absolute snip rocket lays piece.
That's right.
By,
top cheddar.
Oh yeah, top cheddar.
Rip and rope.
Exactly.
All right, let's go back and do some jersey reviews here. The New Jersey Devils had their Hockey is for Everyone jerseys. I thought these were really nice.
Those are nice.
They were like, what was it, rainbow with script inside of it that said Hockey is for Everyone and some other shit like that. But I thought they were really nice. They were whites, right?
Yeah.
Sharp looking.
Yep.
Sharp. And then in the PHF, actually, they had a Pride Night, and the Buffalo Buttes had some awesome, they also had rainbows on those. So we'll throw those up for you guys to take a look at. I thought they were really sharp looking.
Loved them.
And then lastly, the Vancouver Canucks had by far like my favorite one I've seen so far. They had the Lunar New Year's jersey, which is Chinese New Year, and this year is going to be the year of the tiger. And they basically took the Canucks logo and swapped out the whale for a tiger. It was yellow on red, man.
Just number one, I love the Canucks logo. I've loved it for years, and this Chinese New Year logo, it just looks absolutely sick. I think the Canucks do an awesome job with like their third jerseys or they have like alternate jersey or whatever. They always look so sick, and this one even came out even better. So actually, oh God, I didn't write down the notes, but they talked about the there's a he's from China, lives in Vancouver, and he's the one that drew the logo.
Nice.
And I can't remember his name.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, but he's the one who did it, and they came out, so sick. So, dude, it's jerseys like this. I'm just like, dude, wear the entire game, not just like warm-ups.
Yeah.
And how can I buy this?
Yeah, I'd like to say that eventually that should become the case, but then like you think about how many different jerseys that these teams actually do, like they'd only end up wearing their actual jerseys like half of the season. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'd be kind of tough. I don't know. I thought about that initially when we first said it, and then I rethought it, and I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I wish there was something else he could do with them,
Yeah.
other than just warm-ups.
Right, exactly.
Moving on to some Minnesota Wild notes, though. Wild actually beat Montreal 8-2 with 8 different players scoring goals.
Yeah.
Nothing like a classic trash barrel shit kicking. Let's beat up the worst team in the league and have 8 of our guys score.
8 of our different guys.
But that's
fucking
awesome, man.
rip
For
one by
8 different people to put up a goal, that's huge.
Michigan,
you don't see
baby.
that often.
Nope.
Also, Kaprizov has signed a new endorsement deal with Energizer because he just kept going and going and going. So he's in the offensive zone. He's cycling down low, and he goes around the back of the net, coming up like a lot of speed, crossovers. And I want to say they might be on a power play because the defensemen just keep passing him along, like handing him off to the next guy, but they stay in their zone D.
Yeah.
It could have been 5-on-5, but just zone D in general.
It sounded like a power play because they didn't really go after him. He just spun around twice.
And they just kept pass him off to the next guy. And that's fine. That's good defense. You're driving the guy wide. You're not giving him inside opportunity. Yeah. But just to see him just boogieing, dude, going like twice as fast as anyone else on the ice, like it just looked silly. It was like he has a whole nother gear.
It did. It just like it just showed like these kind of players where you're in the NHL, you're professional, but
he's a second year player in the NHL.
In that professional league, there's like professionals who are like professional that can just do that shit, And he just, again, like what you said, just circled around the ice. Like it was nothing. Like he was just trying to find a play.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. That was so cool to see. And then we also had one little side note on him too. He tied McDavid for the second place in fewest games to 100 career points at 92 games. And the only other player ahead of them is Alex Ovechkin, who accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Oh,
that's a Happy Gilmore quote. He did it in 77 games. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
No more than an hour ago. Oh my God.
So yeah, shout out to him. Like he doesn't get, I guess, the props and respect that he deserves. Like if he went to Edmonton and McDavid was on Minnesota, like Kaprizov would be the talk of the league. He would be the guy. Like he's McJesus. It's fucking Kaprizov. It's
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what nickname they would come up for Kaprizov, but
I don't know. I like McJesus though.
McJesus is good, but you can't really call Kaprizov McJesus.
No. We'll think of one.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna.
I mean, Kirill the Thrill is pretty sick.
Kirill the Thrill is sick.
That's such a great name.
I don't think I want to leave that.
As long as it's not fucking soup. Like some of these nicknames are brutal, dude.
Yeah, awful. Fuck. Who was the goalie? Was it Hauser? Hauser was in net, and every time I made a save, the crowd would say "who," and I'm like, why? Like I feel like it started with Tuukka. I could be absolutely fucking wrong with that because when Tuukka makes a save, it was like Tuukka.
Yeah, it almost sounds like boo.
Yeah, it almost sounds like boo,
really
but I
like
feel
that.
like it. I could be absolutely wrong here, but I feel like it started with him, and now for some reason, every time a goalie makes a save, like fans have to make like the same thing.
I think Luongo. Was he the same age?
Lou.
Luongo's older because they used to do Lou for him.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know.
I could be absolutely wrong, but yeah, for Hauser, they were saying who, and I'm just like, all right, Buffalo, you're down like fucking 6 goalies right now. Anyway, we're gonna get to that later. Actually, pretty soon, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yep. So you want to do that?
Sure, yeah. So in Buffalo, actually, Aaron Dell is up to more bullshit. He injured Ottawa forward Drake Batherson with an interference check. Basically, we saw a couple weeks ago, he went out of the net, like deep up by the benches and decided to like let the puck go into his own zone. The defenseman picks it up, but he decides to lay a body and an elbow on Eli Tolvanen. No rebuttal from the league, so he just thinks that this is okay and that he can do this. So this time he lets the puck. He plays the puck behind his own net. His defenseman picks it up. Drake Batherson comes in on the forecheck, and Dell almost goes back to the net and then sees Batherson and like looks over his shoulder, second guesses this, and chucks an elbow out and just buries him. So Batherson goes down on the ice onto his back, slides into the boards going full speed because he's just thinking he's going to go around the net. Just a blatant like defenseless player if I've ever seen one.
Right.
Goes in the boards ankle first, high ankle sprain. He's going to be missing 2 months. Dell ends up getting suspended 3 games for this hit. Good on you for the league. I didn't think they were going to suspend him at all.
Yeah.
And then he actually Batherson will now be missing the All-Star game this weekend due to this, which is fucking bullshit to me.
Yep.
And the team captain, Brady Tkachuk, will take his place to represent the Senators.
Yep.
Because it's a participation game, according to MacKinnon.
I don't like this. Actually, when we looked this up, Aaron Dell has a history of doing this, which
I think this was his 4th time.
Yeah, I don't remember
18,
him doing this at all. But like,
I remember the Mark
4th or
Stone
5th
one.
time. The
against
Mark
Vegas.
Stone was big. But yeah, he recently did it, and the recent one, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it's just this one that was just, I think I found this sentence to you, and I was like, dude, this is fucking dirty. I did not like it at all. One, you don't hit the goalie, so why as a goalie do you have to fucking like hit a
Yeah,
player,
like
know?
you wouldn't like this. And I think like if I was Ottawa, I'd be in there every time he covers the puck, I'm chopping at his glove. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I'd be in his fucking kitchen, and I don't know. I don't like it. I thought it was very dirty. I think the NHL did a great job with 3-game suspension for Dell.
But I also think the NHL made this happen. You set the precedent of, okay, I can go out there and hit Eli Tolvanen at the board, so I can get away with this. So
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing to Ottawa once I play them or to the next guy. And now look what happens. You have a guy that's not expecting a hit from a guy that shouldn't be able to hit me, and I'm in the boards and I'm out for 2 months.
That Tolvanen one was weird though, because he was at the boards, which he shouldn't have been. He left his fucking crease.
Well, no, he could have been. I'm all for that. Go for it. Go play the puck. Do what you need to do.
Do what he needs to do.
And the only issue I have is Tolvanen is trying to get out of your way. You go out of your way to hit him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He made it look like it was one clean movement, which I think is what avoided him punishment. But now the NHL kind of shot themselves in the foot with this.
Now, what's your thought on this? This has been a question for years now, and it actually got brought up again with this whole Dell Matheson stuff too. Do you feel like goalies should be fair game if they leave the crease?
This is the dumbest question in the world. No, they are not fair game if they leave the crease. That's not how the game works. No, they're not protected the same way the players are. Their pads, their skates, the bulkiness of them, their helmet to begin with. Like if they fall on the ice and hit their head, that helmet doesn't protect the same way a player's helmet does. And then you think about like, not like the stretchiness and bendiness with them, but like the way that like if a player falls on the ice and he falls back, but his foot stays underneath him, it like comes out from under him easier than if you were to buckle backwards onto a goalie pad.
Right.
Like you're gonna snap your whole ACL, tear everything. So no, they're not built the same way.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. And goalies aren't used to getting hit to begin with. So, like, when you hit them, like, they fucking go down. We talked about the goalie from Minnesota last week that got absolutely fucking rocked. I don't know how the hell he got back up.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hit.
He was, like, KO'd for a second, then got up and laughed about it.
I've been hit before and just got slammed to the ground. And I don't know if it's just the weight of everything, too, like your pads, your chest protector and everything, but when you hit, especially back on the ice, it fucking...
As a goalie... Oh, fuck me.
Oh, boy, buddy. Oh, boy,
We're going to need some moist towelettes.
Here we
Holy
go,
fuck.
buddy.
Holy fuck, bud.
There you go.
When you think about it, we're just going to keep rolling here.
We're just going to keep going.
There is... Yeah, dude, this thing's wild.
Bro.
There is no padding on your back as a goalie, so... Like, yeah, when you fall backwards on the ice,
It is
like
going to hurt.
you're SOL. Like you're literally going bareback on the ice, nothing in between you and the ice, and it's not like a player, you know. So,
Nope.
all right.
So for
let me clean this up.
Yeah, right. So for our Apple and Spotify listeners, Chris just opened up a beer and it just spilled all
Pissed
over
everywhere,
the place.
dude. It didn't spill. It like overflowed for no fucking reason.
It's
God just shook this up on me and
oh
said,
my
"Suffer."
God. It was something like we couldn't just sit there and just like be like, we'll just watch it happen. It was something
fucked.
like, holy shit, bro.
All right. Well,
Tell me what your the Tank 7 here.
yeah, Boulevard Tank 7, a Saison Ale.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, bro? All right. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you want to go on and cover how the Buffalo Sabres will now have 0 goalies for tomorrow night's game? As of right now, we don't know what they're going to end up doing. You know,
E-bug.
yeah, I mean, they're going to have to have an E-bug on the ice and an E-bug on the bench. Like, this is some crazy shit, but Matt's going to get into it.
Yeah, dude. So
Yeah, dude.
So with Arundel out, actually, it leaves, and so Arundel's out right now, suspended for the 3 games. You have 2 goalies on COVID protocol, and one of them being Michael Hauser, who they literally just fucking signed. And
You got
they got nothing.
Malcolm Subban with an upper body.
No, it's a lower body with Malcolm
Yep,
Subban.
and then-
Craig Anderson is out for the remainder of the season. You have
Old
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who's out with COVID protocol.
No, he was upper body.
Oh, he was upper body?
Yeah. One of them was upper, the other one was lower.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
And then the other 2 guys were
And then the
COVID
other 2
protocol.
guys are COVID
How the fuck
protocol.
do they even have 6
What
goalies?
the fuck? What do you do? Buffalo's so fucked, bro. So the next, who are they playing next?
Hey,
Now I'm thinking about
the
it.
good news is, so it's tomorrow night's game. I'll look up their schedule right now. But
Yeah.
the good news is, oh, dude, you made me lose my train of thought. Fuck me.
Fuck. I wish I could throw that up right now. Hold on. Actually, I got it right here.
No, I got it. It's the Coyotes tomorrow night at 9, so they might be okay. They can put up the shooter-tutor and get a win.
Shoot it to the most difficult person to fucking score on.
Dude, what was I gonna say? I had good news that was not good news for Buffalo. I was gonna fucking bury them 6 feet deep. Oh man, whatever.
Dude,
Moving
they've
on.
already buried themselves fucking 6 feet deep, dude.
All
the goalies are gone, by the way. So it's Friday night. By Monday, I'll be curious what the fuck the score is.
Hey, you know what's wild, dude? They are not even last in their division. They're ahead of Senators and the Canadians.
You know what? Yeah, okay.
They won't make it into the playoffs because of the gap, but that would be nuts.
They just won't. But I edit this on Sunday, so I am going to put an edit for you guys on there. It says the score and who the hell the goalie was for you guys on the bottom screen there. But it's insane to me. Like, what do you do? Like, you don't have a goalie. Like, what the fuck do you do?
I know.
You turn the net around?
It's crazy, man. Yeah, turn the net around. Bring out a pond hockey net.
Do you do the flurry and just like start building like a snowman like in the crease and just like
someone just blows it up with a clap on?
I don't know what the fuck to do. But they are playing Arizona, you said, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they got a chance to win still. Yeah, they're good to go. Yep.
All right, so moving on. So we talked about Aaron Dell and how it brought up the conversation of our goalie's fair game. Like, dumb question in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have Colorado's Nathan MacKinnon, who's out for an undisclosed time with a broken nose. Boston's Taylor Hall hit him coming out of his own end the other night. And the way that he laid the check, he was going for the body, but MacKinnon, he's a righty, so he pulls up and he's about to get hit. And instead of I don't know how to explain it. Instead of just
his stick was
one-handing the stick, he tries to cross it in front of his body in between him and Taylor Hall. And then Taylor hits his hands, which hits a stick right into his nose, and he is just leaking on the ice everywhere. He got fucked up from it, and people posted just for the clicks, I think, if the hit was clean or dirty. Dumb question, dude.
Dumb
clean
fucking question. Clean hit. Clean fucking hit.
It's unlucky, but it's not Taylor Hall's fault. He actually ended up getting a 2-minute minor, which I don't understand why.
Dumb.
I guess you could say he's a defenseless player, but he wasn't because he reacted in time to try and avoid the hit, and that's what got him injured.
Right.
I don't know.
Taylor Hall, sorry, not Taylor Hall. Nathan MacKinnon's stick literally is the thing that got him fucking hurt,
It's almost like when a player stick lifts another player and he high sticks himself in the face.
Right.
And the refs see it and don't call it because it's your own stick. You know what I mean?
Stick, yeah.
Just because the other guy hit it doesn't mean it's his fault that he didn't high stick you,
Yeah.
But the real question right now is it's an undisclosed time with a broken nose. Is he going to be missing the All-Star game also? That'd be nuts because Batherson has to miss, so that would suck if MacKinnon does. There hasn't been news on it yet. I think the game was 2 or 3 nights ago, and they haven't announced a replacement as quickly as they did for Batherson.
Right.
So I don't know.
So,
it would have been funnier if Kadri didn't get voted in. MacKinnon gets his nose broken, and then Kadri goes in his place after MacKinnon said all that shit about Kadri not making it. You know what I mean? That would have been so ironic, right?
I didn't even fucking think about that. MacKinnon, man, I don't know. I feel like for these professional NHL players, they throw if they're really fucking hurt, they throw in a cage in front of it. But even they get fucking shitted on throughout the league for even wearing one. So
but I think that's one that he could fight through if he's feeling well enough. He does still have to play a full 3-on-3 game. Imagine playing hockey where you can't breathe out of your nose too.
Out of your nose,
that's tough.
That's rough.
And they're I still haven't figured out because I'm an asshole and we don't care here. If there is a cash prize, now he's kind of a detriment to their team.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they get a bonus for even going, and I think they get fined or suspended for not going too. I think they miss a game. But where it's an injury related,
I think
it's
different.
different.
Serious, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was fucking stupid. Well, you want to move on to more Ottawa news here?
Yeah, I got a lot of funny Ottawa stuff to cover for you guys. There's 3 little things.
On right
I'm doing a lot of talking this episode just because I typed up these notes. Matt's gonna do all the talking later on. It'll be great.
That's fine.
Can't wait for that. I gotta go take a piss.
It's been a Matt episode for the past 5 or 6 episodes. Yeah.
So Ottawa, we wanted to say congrats to Austin Watson. So Austin actually got the locker room helmet in celebration of his 3 years of sobriety. Some teams have a WWE belt. I think the Rangers have a New York Fire Department helmet. Mm-hmm. They all have something, and Ottawa had it just kind of looked like a regular ass hockey helmet if you ask me, but it was the helmet, I guess. And coming off the ice, I think they said Murr in the video. I'm thinking it's Matt Murray. Maybe he had a good game. They got the win. Mm-hmm. But Tim Stützle gets to give him the helmet. Yeah,
Jimmy Stützle.
He gives him the helmet and he says Murray, you played great and all, but I think we got to acknowledge, Austin Watson's special day. Awesome. It was great.
Awesome.
Stood up, gave him a good hug, but I thought it was really cool to see. And sobriety is a tough thing to overcome.
It is. It's addiction.
Addiction,
in
I should say, not
just,
sobriety.
Yeah, addiction just in general is hard to overcome. You got to find something else to fill that void, and some guys can do it, others can't. It's a war between you and yourself, And if you could do it, man, it's props to everyone who could do it,
Yeah, for real, definitely. It's one of the hardest battles to win.
Mm-hmm.
So a local Ottawa Wild man decides to DM Josh Norris. This was insane. You told me you drove through Ottawa once, and no, it was a different part. Ottawa's all woods and forests and shit, or is it a different part of Canada?
Oh no! So when we were driving through Canada a few years ago, where the fuck did we go? It was Toronto.
You told the story before, but
no, yeah, we went
from
to
Toronto to
Ottawa. From Toronto to Ottawa
was like Mad Woods,
and
right?
like. For some reason, it was just like all fucking woods.
Yeah, so this guy basically like lives there. Like,
yeah,
this is this
in
fucking
the middle
lunatic.
of the fucking woods. Yeah.
So this guy decides to DM Josh Norris, and he says to him, "If I get a life-size tattoo of your face on my stomach, can you send me an autographed jersey?"
Yeah, this dude lives in that fucking woods right there.
No, sorry, same night, 1 a.m. Josh Norris replies, probably getting off the ice from the game, whatever. He says, "Haha, absolutely. I need proof it's a real tattoo, though." And he signs the jersey. He says to Mason, "Thanks for your support. All the best." He actually gets the autographed jersey. This fucking weird dude gets a full-size tattoo of Josh Norris on his stomach, and it's like just below his chest line. And then above that, he has it looks like it's in Greek lettering or Russian lettering. The first half says kamikaze, and then there's something at the end of it. And then underneath that, there's the Grinch with a cross on his forehead. So like Josh Norris's face just kind of fits right in because it's like, what the fuck is going on here? But like, who does that, dude? That is crazy. All for an autographed jersey. You could go to a game and be like, "Josh Norris, we signed this?" He'd be like, "Yeah, sure." You'd be like, "Yeah, sure." He's not gonna be like, "No, I need you to get a tattoo
of my face on your fucking stomach." I don't know. It's
mind-boggling.
Hockey people are weird, or just people who live in woods are weird.
Savagery. And then Ottawa, another interesting little take here. Colin White can't wipe his own ass. Another Happy Gilmore quote for you, but I wipe my own ass. Oh, no, that's Big Daddy.
That's Big Daddy.
So funny, dude. So in an interview, he was asked about the hardest part of everyday life with a shoulder injury. And this is like the media asking him questions. And he's like laughing. He's like, "Well, there's a few things I don't really want to say. Like, I can't say." He's laughing about it. He's like, "I don't know, man, everything." And then he tries to avoid it. But at the end, he just tells him, he's like, "I just can't do it. I can't wipe my own ass." It's terrible.
That interview was fucking hilarious because
he's so open, just seems like a normal dude. You know what I mean?
He does. And you could tell just by like all the pausing that happened in that interview. We're just like, he wants to say something, but he's not saying it. And at the end, he goes, "I just can't say it. Like, I can't wipe my own ass," which just fucking makes sense. You have a shoulder injury.
So funny, dude. He probably got like whacked like 5K from the league. You can't say that.
I'm sure his team will fucking fight fill in for that. But do you want to?
Yeah, the team will either chip in and help pay, or they got to wipe his ass like once a day.
I think he'll take the first option first.
Yeah.
Like, buddies, guys, I haven't been able to do this in days. Help me out here.
Now he's got 5K, but he still can't wipe his ass.
Moving on to some sad news here. Oh, God, should be fucking laughing while doing this. Sorry. It's sad news here. All right, everyone straightforward. You're straightforward. Islanders Clark Gillies passed away. He went fourth overall in the 1974 draft. He's a Hockey Hall of Fame inductee in 2002. His number 9 was retired by the Buffalo Sabres. The New York Islanders, that's what I meant to say. He won 4 straight Stanley Cups from 1980 to 1983 and was part of the 19 straight playoff series wins, which to this day is an NHL record. We have our condolences to him and his family. Some sad news that happened this week. I saw the name Clark Gillies. I'm like, I fucking know who that guy is. And I think he was part of the whole...
Was he a goalie? No, right?
No, he was a player. And he was part of the whole...
John Gillies is a backup for the St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And he was part of the whole Mike Bossy era, too, in the 80s. Mike Bossy and the Islanders were...
He is probably the most underrated Hockey Hall of Famer, Mike Bossy.
Bossy.
Not a lot of people mention him, but he is fucking like up there with like Gordie Howe, Gretzky, Lemieux. Yeah. Like he's right there, man. Easily. Not a lot of people talk about him.
No one talks about him at all. Did you want to piss? You want to...
Yeah, I'll go after this. But I just want to say that this is another one of those NHL records that will never be broken again.
No. 19 straight series wins.
If Tampa Bay three-peats, that's 12 in a row.
Yeah. So they got to
That's
keep
it.
going. Yeah.
That would be like 12 in a row they've won. They need to win a whole nother cup as 16 and then make it to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose
Right.
the fourth year. That's never going to happen.
No.
It's never going to happen. And then now that I say that, like they're going to win 4 cups in a row, dude. It's going to be sick.
We'll be
and the Flyers will still be my pick to win the cup, and they'll be in dead last in the league. I'm out.
You done for the episode?
Yeah, I'll see you.
All right, I'll see you in like 20 minutes or so. So something that I love it. We've been drinking a bit here. So something that happened this week that is actually just funny as shit to me that I didn't even know even existed. I'm sure if you're an Islanders fan, to go back to the Islanders here, I'm sure if you're an Islanders fan, you know it exists. But for a guy in Boston, I didn't know it existed at all. And then there was this one clip of why can't I think of his name? Oh, here we go. Adam Pelech just getting off the ice, and right above the hallway where the ice is, there's just a bunch of cardboard or print off huge faces of Pelech. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I found out there is a Pelech posse in New York. And I feel like I need to say something about that, or at least tell people what the Pelech posse is. So the Adam Pelech has a posse in New York, and we got to see them all in action last week. The Pelech posse started with 20-year-old Jake Basile from Plainville, New York. The Pelech posse was born during the clinching game against Buffalo last season. Basile said, Pelech was remarkable, and my friends and I had just been going crazy for every play he made all game. Some lady just called us the Pelech posse, and I decided to run with it. Ever since then, that's been our movement. So the kid didn't even come up with a name. It was some woman that came up with the name for Pelech posse, and we're going to give all the credit to her. So following the transformative game, Basile created a social media alter ego known as Bathtub Jake, an Instagram page that posts NHL content and is centered around the posse. The purpose of the group is to relay how much the fan base appreciates Pelech as a player and how important of a role he holds on the team. That message was well received by Basile, along with 149 other posse members signed a get-well card for the man they call Pelly after he went down with an Achilles injury in January 2020. Pelech posse coming in big. You know about that at all?
Yeah. Those cardboard cutouts of someone's face, I fucking hate. Like, I can't stand that. And I also think, like, I would hate to be sitting behind them and just have a million of those in my face and I can't see the game. But it's really cool to see because he is, like a third. He's probably up higher, but I'm an asshole. Yeah. But, like, let's say second, third line guy that, he gives it his all on the ice. He doesn't really get as much respect as he deserves. And now he really is, like a whole group of fans, it looks like a quarter of the bowl when they have all those cardboard heads up. Looks like they're all like, appreciative of what he's doing, what he's giving the team on the ice, and all the sacrifices he makes. So
I'm sure cool. As a player, it's weird, but as like
I'd be like, why do these people
fan,
like me so much?
Like, yeah, right. Like, who the fuck? But I don't know. It's actually kind of cool to see that the team has like their own thing going on by a fan, by the way, and we're just now finding out about it, which means it was exclusively like New York Islanders fans that know about the Pelech posse until we found out about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the section of fans at the Danbury Trashers games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one section of rabid fans.
That one section, yep. Do you want to get into this, the Michael Pezzetta dance?
Yeah, Montreal Canadiens, Michael Pezzetta with a really weird-looking like pregame ritual. It almost looked like a Braden Holtby, like tracking with the eyes and following water droplets and shit. So someone was recording during his mental warm-up routine on the bench before game, and it looked like he was dancing. It was so weird. More so, I think he's visualizing passes, shots, and plays like many goalies do before a game. But he was almost like stick handling without a stick and like doing weird snapping motions with his body, and like it was all left, right, backhand, all things like that. And
I think it stood out because he's a player, not a goalie. Yeah. Goalies do that all the time. I'm trying to think. Holtby is always out there with his stick, always just like visualizing the play out on the ice. And there's guys that just like Carter Hart's one of them, where when on the ice he practices like screens and stuff, like so he's like visualizing, like looking through plays and stuff. But for a player, it's just different. Sorry, there's two There's two different views of this. The one view that got us seeing that he's talking about the passes was pretty much showed what happened. But there's a view of it that happened. I think someone recorded it across the ice, and it just looked like he was just fucking
Dancing
alone
on
the bench, just dancing. So it was pretty funny to us.
I think there's a lot of like research and study on it, but like visualizing any kind of success and like basically like blocking out the bad and like visualizing the good. Like if you can visualize an attack, like even in net, that's why it's so big for goalies to mentally prepare. Like if you think about like the last time that you tried to make this save and you got scored on versus the last time you tried to make this save and you made a good save. Like, they change how you play and you know, like the mentality behind it also. It's cool to see a player actually, you know, utilizing something like that.
Right, exactly. And to move on from that to a goalie, Ovechkin's slap shot breaks Leonard's cage last week. Fucking A.
Yeah, man. So if you're looking at Matt's helmet right here, he has actually this one does too. So these are both cat eye cages, which they're called that because like the shape of this eye hole over here. I guess it's on this side for you guys, and it's not.
You could see more. Yep.
And it's not like a grid like the other goalie helmets. It doesn't interfere as much. But with Matt's and I's helmet, this is it is. They're both double bars down the middle, and that's very supportive. And he's up against NHL shots, obviously. So this is just my little story. I had another cat eye cage. I think it was double bar as well, but there was one bar missing basically. Like there was a little bit less interference with the helmet, and I'll never go back to cat eye again. I've gotten used to the grid. I'm all set. I've tried cat eye. It worked. It was awesome. I liked having the visibility. Yeah. But I got hit with one shot, and I'm in men's league, you know, like D level, and I think there's like 10 seconds left in the period. The guy rips a slap shot, and I like brace for it, and it hits me right here. And basically the same thing that happened to Robin Leonard with this shot. The whole round part of this eye here, you Spotify and Apple listeners are going to hate this, but right here bent in, and basically like the cage was pressing against my cheekbone the same way that his was. And
I had the same thing years ago.
I brought it to Goalie Monkey Sports. So like I wouldn't bend it back because you bend it back and it actually makes the metal weaker.
Yep.
So the next time you get hit with that, that's going to break. So I just switched back. I was like, I'll just go with the grid. Like it's not worth it. You know, the visibility is great. It's a great added benefit, but with that risk, no thanks, you know? That's a personal opinion.
Right. No, you're totally right. I had an iTech years ago that I took a slap shot so fucking hard. I think the metal is made with like different material now because those iTechs that I had, the metal cages would rust.
Yeah, they would.
And they would. I took a slap shot so fucking hard at one point on like the side, like exactly what you said, the cheek, where it broke, and like the metal piece almost pierced my fucking cheek. And ever since, man, I was kind of scared. I did the same thing with you did with the grid for a while, but I had an issue with the grid where I couldn't see. Went back to the cat eye. I've been fine with it. I love being able to see the puck and being able to use my peripheral vision. Again, each goalie is different. You like the grid. I can
like I don't personally like the grid. It's just if
you feel more safer with it.
Yeah, and if I don't feel safe in something, I play differently. Like I'm gonna avoid getting hit in the head rather than get in front of it and make a save with my head if I need to. You know.
No, I'm the same way. Like again, when I was getting hit in the throat,
exactly.
We talked about when I got that throat. What do we call it? The throat guard. Like my game changed again. Like I was just
because before without it, now you're like, oh shit, am I gonna get hit in the neck? I'm gonna duck like this. The puck goes over your head, over your shoulder, maybe. Yeah. But now I can come up higher like this. If I get hit, it's
square,
okay.
You know. So, goalie mentality right there. So moving on from that, we have Ontario Reigns' Brett Sutter. He celebrates his 1,000th game. The Psycho played 1,000 professional games, only 60 of which were in the NHL. He's had 2 goals, 8 assists, 40 penalties in minutes in the NHL. 940 games in the AHL is wild, and that's a ton of dedication by him. It really goes to show you the difference in AHL versus NHL. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, the gap between, like...
The skill gap?
The skill gap between AHL and NHL. Like, you get to the AHL, and it's just, like, step by step to the AHL. And then from AHL to NHL, it's like a 4-step fucking jump. And some guys just get stuck in the AHL, like
Dude,
Brett Sutter.
What's nuts to me is that he's still there. He's still playing. He's still grinding it out. And it's like, at a certain point, is his goal even to make it to the NHL anymore? You know what I mean? Like, he's been there. He's played a few games. doesn't seem like he's going to get there. He's getting older in age. 1,000 games is a long-ass time, as we've talked about before. That's at least 10 seasons.
Right.
12 seasons. But that is a ton of dedication to him to the game. He loves playing at the high level. I'll play at the AHL if I can't make it to the end. That's fine. Very cool sticks that they came out with for him.
That's awesome.
It had every team logo, even the NHL team. So like the Calgary Flames, the Minnesota Wild. Then there's like the Reign logo, some other teams. I forget what else was on there, but it had the logo and the number of games played, and it all added up to his 1,000th game.
Yeah,
so,
that was cool as shit. So,
very cool.
So good job with him. Sorry. Good job with him. Yeah, the fuck. Congratulations
Thank you.
to Brett
That was
Sutter.
my book report. Thank you, everyone. Show and tell.
Yep, there we go. Yep. Moving on, we have we got 3 more things to talk about this week. Our third to last is the Hershey Bears breaking records. The AHL, to stay on the subject, Hershey Bears, which is the Washington Capitals affiliate, had a teddy bear toss. During the game, fans sent 52,341 stuffed animals to the ice, breaking a record for this event. The game was against the Hartford Wolfpack, and the teddy bears was tossed after the first goal of the game. This was the 20th teddy bear toss in Hershey Bears history. The club has collected an estimated 269,858 plush toys since 2001. The teddy bears and stuffed animals are collected and donated to more than 25 local organizations, including Dauphin County Children and Youth, Cocoa Packs Boys and Girls Club of Harrisburg, Palmyra Lions Club, Autism Society Greater Harrisburg Area, and Children's Miracle Network Hershey. The Sweegarts Family Foundation pledged $1 per plush item for all items collected.
They were probably like, can we rework that?
Yeah, can we bring that back for a bit?
10 cents a bear.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were at full capacity. They set a record in 2019 with 45,650 stuffed animals, and the foundation said they would also give $50,000 if they were to break the record, which they did. So congratulations to the Hershey Bears and all the fans for coming out and breaking a record there. That is awesome. That is awesome to hear.
That's $102,341 that company donated. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Just so you know, too, I wanted to Google it because I didn't know who did start it. We talked about it last week. So the concept was originated by the Kamloops Blazers in 1993. Wow. The first recorded teddy bear toss was on December 5th, 93. When a goal by Brad Lukowich prompted fans to throw over 2,400 bears onto the ice. Wow. This was probably my favorite one to watch, the Hershey Bears toss one, because I love seeing them, but like I feel like throwing 52,000 bears onto the ice, like at a certain point, like it gets ridiculous. It's like, holy shit, we're still throwing bears, like we're just waiting. The players started jumping into the bears and like doing shit with them, and like
it's just cool to see.
It is. You know? It's so awesome, and it's so heartwarming too. Like. Yeah. I don't even think there's 102,000 people kids that live near the Hershey Bears fucking arena. You know what I mean? Like, that's nuts. And the other part of it that I think about every time, even with hat tricks and shit, like not so much with hat tricks, but when I see these teddy bear tosses, I'm like, dude, if you're like glass, like you gotta be worried about suffocating someone. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You're right up against the glass, and just a million teddy bears. Some people have like the big life-size ones too. I saw on the ice, like a 6 foot tall bear.
I found so there's netting around the back of the nets.
Oh yeah.
Some people were just like filling that net up because they couldn't get it on the ice.
I honestly think that might just be from like the balcony too, the high rises.
Yeah,
like you
just
throw
trying to get it
hats
over.
Get stuck in there. Like now they have to go through and dig all those out. That's crazy, dude.
Fucking insane. So
that's a lot of bears.
Awesome.
A lot of bears and a lot of bears.
A lot of bears and a lot of bears here
That's
on the
right.
podcast. Yep. So congratulations, and let's move on to the last two here. A first in the AHL. It's been a lot of AHL talk this episode. Yoshiro Hirano became the first Japanese player to score in the AHL. He plays for the Abbotsford Canucks, where he's played 6 games and now has 2 goals. He entered the AHL with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins back in 2018. We only played 1 game and had 1 assist. He's been playing in the ECHL for the past few years. So congratulations on him for being the first Japanese player to score in the AHL. I'm trying to think, who was that goalie from Japan?
Was it Antti Niemi?
Antti Niemi is not.
No,
from Japan.
Niitamaki. I did this last time too. Remember?
Not from Japan either. It's Fukujima or something like that, right?
I don't know. You just gonna dust me when you don't have the answer? For me giving guesses, he played for the Sharks, And Niemi and Niittymaki were partners.
I'm not dusting
You literally just dusted me. You're like, it's not Niemi. And then I said Niittymaki. You're like, no, it's Fuka something. I don't know. Fucking asshole. Fucking piece of shit.
I think Niemi is fucking Finnish, and Niittymaki's also Finnish.
Niittymaki, oh my god. We looked this up. Didn't he have like a fucking Japanese grandfather or some shit?
Oh boy.
Dude.
We learned something new here.
No, we learned this 5 episodes ago. We talked about this.
I don't remember.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know you don't remember, dude.
3 concussions in. Here we go.
Oh my god. Now you're gonna make me look like I hate people with concussions. Because I do. No, I'm just kidding.
Canceled. Oh boy. I'm shocked.
Setaguchi, that's who it was.
Oh, Setaguchi.
And he's not a goalie, was he? He's a player, right?
He's a player, yep.
Yeah. And his grandfather was Japanese. In case you listeners don't remember that from 5 episodes ago.
From like 20 episodes ago, bud.
What was I gonna talk about though? Who's the Asian player for the New York Islanders? It starts with an O. Oh man. Because I wanted to see if he was Japanese. I forget what his nationality is.
The only O I can think of is like Brooks Orpik, you know.
No, he's.
But it's definitely
Josh Hosang. That's what it is. It's not
Hosang.
O. It's
yeah,
Hosang.
It's Hosang.
And he is definitely. No, you know what? I think his. I forget what it is. There's something about him. We need to move on to the next thing. But
we need to move on.
Oh my God! Ready for this? Here it is. Hosang was born in Toronto, Ontario, and is of Chinese, Black Jamaican, Russian Jewish, and Swedish heritage.
Holy shit!
That's a lot, man. And
wow, I thought I was a.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And let's see his career stats real quick. I just want to see the teams that he's played for. So he's in the AHL. So yeah, it was Chinese descent, and my bad. I honestly thought that he was of Japanese descent too. So that's what made me look this up, because I was like, he's been in the AHL. He's been bounced around.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he scored too. But
scored,
that's pretty cool.
That's
awesome. Josh Hosang is he was a highly touted prospect. I'm pretty sure he got drafted really high. So hopefully he turns out to be something good. But anyways, back to Hirano. Congratulations
to Hirano.
That's awesome to see, and I hope that we do see him make it to the NHL one day, because that would be awesome. I wonder if there are any active Japanese players in the NHL. You can go on to the next thing. I'm going to see if I can find that out.
Okay. So on to our last thing we have going on. So this week, I was on social media, and on social media, I was scrolling through, and I saw this little girl in a Danbury Trashes jersey, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, wow, she looks very, very familiar. And I sent it to Chris. I'm like, oh my God, this is the girl we talked about. This is the girl from Connecticut with the Oilers jersey on that she wore for the I can never remember what the hell is the school photo.
Yep.
So I commented on it and like, hey, we talked about her on the podcast, not knowing that this is the girl's father who posts all the photos and videos of her, pretty much her personal Instagram, and we started talking. And so her name is Lillian Juliano. She plays for Yale Youth Hockey. We'll put a clip of her playing at the rink down below. There's a photo with that photo of the Danbury Trashes. She met AJ Gallant from the Danbury Trashes and got a signed jersey from him, and that's the photo I liked. And she is just awesome. And so when I was talking to her father on social media here on Instagram, I said we talked about her, so he's like, can I see the clip? So I showed the clip of her talking about her, and she absolutely loved it. She loved the fact that we're talking about her, that she has some fans, and she's a huge fan of us, and so is her father. So I was like, you know what? Let me just throw this conversation in here too, and let's give her some spotlight. And so with that said, I thought I wrote it down, but I actually didn't. So the father's Instagram, I'm going to put it down below for you guys too. It's called LP Juliano, so LPJULIANO for all Spotify and Apple listeners on Instagram. Go follow her. She is awesome. The next Premier Federation player.
That's exactly what I was going to say, man.
Sick. Yeah.
I was like, shout out Lillian. Thanks for listening. We hope to see you one day in the Premier Hockey Federation.
Right.
Ripping it up.
Hopefully one day we'll get you on the podcast. Do your own little...
Don't forget us when you go big, because we sure won't.
Yeah, we sure won't. Yeah.
We'll still be in my basement. Don't worry.
We'll have... Yeah, exactly. We'll have you as a guest on here one day. Hopefully meet you. Thank you so much for you and your father listening and enjoying our content. It's just... It was so crazy to, like, have that conversation, too. And I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. So,
that's really cool. That's awesome to see fan interaction, too.
Yeah.
Thank you for reaching out to her father as well.
There's this photo I saw of her, too. Like, if you go on her Instagram and just kind of look through, it's like, she's just awesome. There's a photo of her. I think she's on the ice outdoors, and she's just got these, like, shades on, just looking cool as shit, just, that's like, awesome. Hanging around. So, awesome. Lillian, thank you so much for liking our stuff, and her dad, thank you so much for liking our stuff. And with that said,
no more hockey.
No more hockey. We're donezo's bunzos till we record next Friday. And hopefully, to God, I can make it here next Friday with all the snow coming on.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right by a week later.
Yeah,
I think it's actually supposed to warm up like a couple days from now, too. It'll get up to like the 40s.
So all fucking...
Should hope... No, there'll probably be like 6 inches left still because of how much we're getting. We're getting like 2 feet here.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
Funny enough, my wife actually texted me while we're down here, like mid-episode, and I was like, oh, shit, what's going on? I checked my text, right? And she says, Holbrook police stopped by and said... they were asking about your truck parked on the road, and they were like, "Oh, you got to make sure that it's off the street before they come out to plow." So,
almost had a walk home after this episode.
She said it did get towed, but I didn't want to like go up and interrupt the episode. So
oh shit!
I'll give you a ride home.
Well, all right, cool.
Oh, just kidding. My car's in the shop. So
oh fuck. All right. Well, I don't think Uber's around right now. I don't have the money for that, so I'll be walking home.
It's like the 19 times charge like they had on New Year's Eve. Remember that?
Yeah.
They got like a huge lawsuit because on New Year's Eve. They were Ubering people home from Boston, but they used to have like an X rate, which was like during peak hours and shit like that. Like we would charge, this much more. In New Year's Eve, dude, it was like, I want to say like somewhere between like 20 and 30 times charge for an Uber. So an Uber out of the city on New Year's Eve costs like $300, $400. Wild. But anyways, no, your truck did not get towed. She said she talked to them. And she's like, oh, he's not staying over, so it's good.
Yeah.
But they just, they stop by all the streets and make sure that they're clear to plow. You know what I mean? So.
It's funny when you get out of the city how nice. Never mind. I'm just gonna move on. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like shocked to get that text. I was like, oh fuck, am I gonna have to go upstairs and deal with the police right now? But yeah,
cause of trouble in Holbrook.
That's right, man. That's right. This is a major town, major organization, major city we got to deal with here. So
you
7.5 square miles, massive town.
You could take the Braintree man out of Braintree, but you can't take the what's the word I'm looking for? You could take the man from Braintree out of Braintree.
I'm done with you disrespecting me. This is bullshit.
Apparently I disrespected you on that fucking last thing we had, which I didn't even know we did. It's just funny that you thought Antero Ninamaki was a Japanese player.
Shut up, dude. I can't stand you, dude. I gotta go.
Never letting that go.
Oh my god. I didn't think he was
on fucking social media now.
Yeah, right? You're going to clip that part and you're going to like put my words together to say like some bullshit.
Dust.
I hate that he's in charge of social, dude. I'm always getting buried on social. You know that? I just look at it. I'm like, oh fuck.
I think it's fun.
And I think it's win-win though, because you bury me on social and I bury you live on the show, and there's nothing you can do about that. So
nothing. I think. You know what? Did you dust me even on the show?
Probably. Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm talking about tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You kidding me? No.
I edit this, by the way.
Yeah, he does. He gets to listen to it 3 times when I bury him, dude. It's great. And that's why he goes on social and makes me look like an idiot.
That's exactly why I do that. So, do you want to call us out so I can get home safe, bud?
Yes, sir. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week. Don't forget the shot, buddy!
Oh, shit, we forgot the shot! Oh, hold on.
Bye, guys.
Go back. Bye, guys.
Don't spill.
Oh my God.
Peace.
No peace, bro. Oh, I can't even move. I'm the one that's closing off this fucking show. Oh, God. Oh. Dude, want to tell them what that was, by the way?
Oh, yeah, Soko Caramel. We've been doing this for a while. Did I have that last week?
Yeah, you did.
That goes to tell you something, man. I had a few drinks in me. That's what Matt wanted to mention last week. And I had like more than a few drinks in me that episode. And I had that Soko Caramel, and dude, I thought it was coming up at the end of last week. That was great. You zoomed in and everything. Phenomenal.
So,
but like that goes to show. Like I had maybe like 4 beers today, and I had that shots. No problem. But last week.
So I came over for the podcast last week. I found out Chris has had a few and doing the podcast. I'm like, you'll be fine. And I was able to zoom in. I'm sure now that we're talking about it now, you guys are going to go back to the last episode and zoom
definitely
in on
do it,
Chris's.
man. It was good.
It's hilarious. Cause
I always give him crap for his puke faces, and like I had like a close one, man. Close call.
Chris had that little lip. What's the word that you said? Lip,
oh, yeah. It wasn't a quiver, but like a twitch, right?
Yeah, a little lip twitch that was just like.
That was like
just
the sign,
enough
like it's
to
coming.
Be like, it's coming. We should probably end this episode
Good news
soon.
is it never came, so I got to go to bed a happy man.
We got through.
Yeah.
But,
and I woke up at 6 a.m. the next day to go pick Charlie up to play hockey.
You sick fuck. I got that Snapchat, by the way.
Wasn't that hilarious?
Oh.
So, real quick, we ended the episode a few minutes ago, but we're not ending. I just wanted to throw this in here, too. I was on Discord after the episode last week, not exactly sober, and our buddy Charlie's on. He's like, dude, we got to get Matt to give me his goalie gear. I want to come skate and everything. And Matt refuses to let him borrow it. I'm like,
nope.
Dude, you want to wear my gear? You can wear it. I don't give a shit. But
it's almost harassment.
I was telling him that, and yeah, it really is. And I was like, dude, I got forward gear. You want to come skate? He's like, yeah, dude, absolutely. And I'm like, like I said, I'm not exactly sober. So the next day, he's like, you better not oversleep, dude. I'm ready to skate. I want to play. He's gonna wear all my gear. And I wake up. I'm like, I'm on my way. And he's like, yeah, I'm ready.
Right.
So I get there, and I'm like, I'm so hungover, dude. It was hurting so bad.
God.
I bring him to the rink, and he's putting on all the gear, and I like locker room full of guys that play hockey every week. Like, this is my buddy Charlie. He hasn't skated in 12 years, and he's gonna wear my gear and get out there. We like never like I don't think we checked his shoe size. Checked like the helmet gonna fit. All worked. My
That's
skates same shoe size. Yeah, the helmet was a little tight, he said, but everything else was good. And he actually had a good shot, man. He could snap it. But he
Charlie was talking a big game on Discord.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, he's like,
well,
I was the
that's
best,
our friend
bro.
Charlie for him. Yep.
He's like, I went bar down on Chris. No, that part didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
He did have a couple good shots, so I'll give him that.
Give him that. But
We'll have to clip this and send it to him. But Charlie's a good dude. Shout out Charlie.
Definitely gonna do it. So shout out to Charlie for that. And we gotta stop the harassment for grabbing my gear. You're not getting it, by the way.
I don't want it. I have my own gear.
By the way, that episode, I got home around like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and like I just put my stuff down, and Chris is calling me for like the 5th time asking me, hey, could Charlie have your goalie gear? And I'm like, no, dude, for the 5th time. And then
because the first time Charlie asked, because I mentioned it to him, I was like, oh, dude, we need a goalie tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Matt keeps like, he won't get up that early. He won't come skate.
Nope.
He's like, dude, I'll do it. I was like, no way, you will? He's like, yeah, dude. And Matt ended up popping on Discord a little bit later, and he's like, yo, Matt, can I borrow your goalie gear? Like, we need a goalie at Chris's skate tomorrow. And I was like, and I was like, oh, he's just laughing because he thinks Charlie's joking. And I was like, no, dude, Charlie's serious. Like, can you use your gear? You're like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Not happening. Nope. And the worst part is, like, I said no, end of the call, and you called me twice more. And I'm like, I'm not answering that call. I know what it's for.
You sure?
Bastard.
What if I needed to borrow some sugar?
Yeah, yeah, sunk. I don't even have sugar in the house. You know me. What a fucking shit lie that is. So let me call this out since we're so that
was a tangent and a half.
That was a tangent.
All
and a
because
half.
we forgot to take the shot.
All because we
worth
forgot
it.
to take the shot, but it was worth it. So thank you all for listening and listening in, especially for Lillian Juliano and her father. Thank you so much. We will all see you all next episode. I fucked that up, but whatever. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.